Very good afternoon to all. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to Tally CA Connect. Our topic of discussion today is how can we automate the audit process using the Tally data? And with the start of audit season, I'm sure this session will come out to be very useful and time saving for everyone. Our expert for today, I am very happy to introduce for the very first time CA J Ramajayam sir. Ramajayam sir is a practicing chartered accountant. He's a faculty at ICI, a data analyst, and an information system auditor. He's passionate about technology, data analytics, business process automation, and is involved in developing various fintech products for the benefit of CA community. And it is my honor to tell you all that currently sir is handling the implementation of the new advanced ITT course Pan India by conducting various FDP programs and contributing to the course materials and cases for the students in the new program through Board of Studies ICI. He is a visiting faculty and a trainer at various ICI sessions all throughout the SIRC. I'm very glad. Thank you so much, Ramajayam sir, for taking out the time from a very busy schedule and such an important topic. We had great number of registrations. I'm sure people will be joining in. And with the recording in our YouTube channel, more people can take benefit in the future as well. So welcome to the Tally Forum. I'm sure maybe for the first time, but definitely not for the last. So without wasting any further time, I will hand over the podium to you. And because we have a great number of audience to begin with, please direct your queries in the Q&A only so that we can keep a track. And in the chat, you can put in any questions asked by sir or any comments for us. Yeah. So over to you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. So let me share my screen. So today we are going to see how to extract data out of Tally in an automated way and do an audit with the data. So the focus is mostly on extraction, and there is some use cases given by me in Excel, Power Queries, and Power BI, as well as in Python to take the data and use. This is a plan for the day. So this process of extraction of data from Tally in an automated way will definitely helpful for all audits and analytics we all chartered accountants and regular accountants do on a daily basis, especially during this filing time. So now, without wasting any time, let me just jump onto the session. So now I've just loaded a Tally sample data given by Tally Solutions. So here, you in the calculator panel, I believe we all know there is a lot of natural language queries like cash, ratios like current ratio, all these can be queried and taken out. For example, I'm going to write cash in the calculator panel. So the Tally will respond. It has an inbuilt NLP, natural language processing transformer. So it will get into it and give you the cash balance. And likewise, you can go and write current ratio. It will give you the current ratio. You can type working capital. So not necessarily we have to, take this data out of Tally and use a calculator or use a Excel to find the amount for disclosing this various information in the financial statements. So we can use this calculator panel without ease. It is an inbuilt process into Tally. So when you Google out Tally NLP, you will end up at the Tally Solutions webpage where you get these prompts where to write. For example, you can write sales. So let me try sales now. So give the sales for the period. And there are some more prompts like profit, gives me the profit. I can say sundry data, gives me the balance of data. I can say anything, fixed assets. It give me the balance of the fixed assets. Like this, you can Tally can give you uh, any kind of information. So So these are the inbuilt NLP prompts. For example, there are some more things like you can say closing balance of a ledger. I just type a ledger name. I know there is a ledger called Alpha Provisions. If you type Alpha Provisions in the calculator panel, you can get out the balance of Alpha Provisions. You can say a lot of prompts here. So you can say the closing balance. You can say mobile number of the ledger. You can say account number of a bank, phone number. So you can ask any kind of prompts like this. So let me just leave this, URL there in the chat box so that you can take a note of it. So I hope I'm audible, right? Because I'm getting questions. Can someone confirm me whether
Yeah.
you can be able to
Yes,
read?
sir. Your voice is okay.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you. So this URL of Tally, where you can get onto various prompts, where you can figure out these prompts and take information out of it. Now, all these are single liner close-ended prompts with, where the response message is like, say, you can figure out it is on single information. However, a chartered accountant, in a regular audit requires a lot of information, especially on master data and transactional data. So again, there is another concept here for chartered accountants is by writing the way of SQL queries in the calculator panel. It is a hidden feature inside Tally, mainly for the developers, where in the calculator panel, we can write an SQL query and get information out of it. To just start with, I'll just start with very basics. Later, I can give you some introduction on it. For example, if you want
Sir,
to,
you
yeah,
have in the chat, the link is sent to host and panelist. So you have to update it to the everyone and then share the link.
come again. I'm sorry. Can you just repost it one time
Yeah,
for
I
me?
will. Okay, yeah, I will do that.
Because I have written my panel, so
No, no, it's okay. I'm doing it for the because you said you'll be sending a lot of links. So
all right, all right, all right.
yeah.
Maybe otherwise I'll keep group it. I'll post it on the last. So now we will go and write some SQL queries in Tally. So SQL queries like if you want only the name of the ledger of all the ledgers, I can say select dollar name from ledger. So you run this SQL script in your calculator panel, you will end up at getting the all the ledgers. So let me just go to the calculator panel, paste it and press enter. Now all the ledgers of the Tally master is visible. Now again, I'm going to slightly make it bigger. I'm going to say name, comma, dollar parent, comma, dollar opening balance from ledger. So by writing the script, I'll get the opening balances with the group wise from Tally. And I can actually build it a little more, and I can say I can put a comma here, I can put dollar underscore closing balance. So I get the closing balance also. Like this, I can go and query any kind of data from Tally, whether it is master, whether it is ledger, whether it is stock item, whether it is group, but any master for the concern, you can write a query by knowing the table name. The syntax is again very simple. it is select field names from table name. Again, you can go and write search in Google Tally SQL. You end up at this end up at this uh, place blog where Tally has given how to write these queries. There are some 10, 15 queries being given. You can very well try. Now, I'll also post this link somewhere here. So these are the queries which can be written on the calculator, which can be written on the calculator panel, through which the data can be extracted out of Tally. Now the challenge comes. The master data like ledger, stock item, godown, groups, cost center is all available. However, the transactional data like the day book, stock movement, HSN movement of information, bill-wise references of transactions, the cost center-wise transactions, all these were not part of this table. So the tables like ledgers, stock item, ground groups, cost center, only available here. And you all can try like this, select dollar, sorry, star from ledger. You can very well very well take all the fields form part of this table called ledger. There'll be 300 plus fields, right from the date of creation and address, country, the GST number, the parent, GST registration type, lot more information, the bank details. All these are visible just by writing the simple 4-letter called select star from ledger. And you have quarterly balances, so much. And this field names can be copied and it can be incorporated into the query so that only the required information is it can alone being taken out of Tally. So now what did I do in order to expand this data from master to transaction? So Tally has a very unique and very powerful data source called data structure called object-oriented database, where the transactions were nested within the tables. So for each series of subheads of transaction, new separate table is not created. There is only one table called transactions. So based on that one table, for example, you need to store a series of information, say list of ledger entries, debits and credits in a transaction. It gets again nested into a uh, single collection and gets embedded into the same table as a nested table. So the transactions were not visible as the flat tables as masters. However, there is to be an additional effort to be invested in that process to extract that transaction, for which I, being a chartered accountant, where I find the framework requires a lot of reporting. However, the reporting is not available elsewhere. So I created the transaction table inside Tally by the name of Daybook. So contains this daybook contains the basic information like date, ledger entries, amount, and a narration. Along with that, it has furthermore fields like maybe 20 plus fields on related to that particular transaction, which can be queried and taken out of the Tally. So I'm going to show you how this is happening. We need to take the information. We need to go to the uh, F1 TDLs and add-ons, and we need to attach a TDL. So I have attached a TDL called Advanced ITT 1.0 and a TDL called Natural Language 1.0. So both these TDLs are available in a blog of mine uh, called techca.app, where under data analysis TDL for chartered accountants as in Tally Connector version 2, once you log in, you could be able to figure out and get this TDL file. So this TDL file can be attached to Tally. Again, there is one more source of downloading this data in my GitHub profile. So here in the GitHub profile, this is my URL to get into the GitHub. I'll share all these URLs at the end of this session. So here in Tally Connector version 2.0, you have the TCP file, advanced.tcp. This file can be downloaded, and also you have the link to go into the forum as well. So here you can go to Tally TDLs and add-ons, select this TDL configuration to yes, attach the TDL, and go to connectivity. Make sure that Tally connectivity is ODBC is enabled to both. Generally, it will be none, and run the Tally in the administrative mode. Once you do this process of attaching this TDL, running the Tally into administrator mode, now Tally can get you the transactions, list of transactions as a query. For example, I have a queries here. I have the list of queries here at the bottom. This is the query to get the transactions from Tally. So let me copy this. Since I have already attached my ITT TDL, I go to the calculator panel, I paste this query and press enter. The entire transaction daybook for every debits and credits inside a ledger, it is coming out uh, a big flat table, identifying what is a unique transaction. See, journal 744 is the master ID, and journal number 1 is the number of the voucher and the date, what is the voucher type, and you will get the line item. There are 2 line items, one debit and another one is credit. Alpha provision has been debited, cash has been credited, and the amount where alpha provisions has been grouped. So the groupings of the ledger, the subgroup, the primary group of the ledgers, the party ledger name for GST analysis, GST number for the GST analysis. So like this, and what kind of registration type of the party, like this, all these data, including the narration, has been taken out of the system. So with this kind of a big data, for example, this data is running into 900 lines and running into 26 columns. So this big data, I have written a TDL, and based on the TDL, this data is coming as an output in calculator panel. Now this data can be loaded into your Power Query or your Power BI or your Excel table. Based on this data, multiple measures, multiple visualizations, multiple Power Queries, multiple pivotings, multiple applications can be made on top of this base daybook data, and you can create a number of reports and automate any process out of Tally, any process literally out of Tally. And very important, a report which is not even available in Tally. You can all see with this data in a span of 15 seconds, class 44 information can be compiled with. So like that, a ledger scrutiny can be made with this data. A lot of information can be made with this data, where the basic is this queries. So by running this query, we can take out the data from Tally to Excel. Again, there is a problem. When multiple line items of data has been exported from Tally in Excel, it takes a lot of time because the product is very dynamic, and export is one such part. However, Tally Solutions has made a brilliant idea of enabling this table in the ODBC window. So if the ODBC, if the Tally could be able to run in an administrator mode, and you have any application, any analytics application for the matter, whether it is 9, whether it's Power BI, Tableau, or any application, Alteryx, which has a ODBC connector, 64-bit ODBC connector. All these data can be moved from Excel, from Tally to any application. So this is what a SQL query is all about. We are going to slightly deep dive into SQL query for the next 10 minutes. Then we are going to see how to automate this query or this data into any analytics application. We'll start with Excel. So before that, I just stop here to take some of your questions. So let me answer and then proceed on to go into the next level or deep into the SQL queries. Over to the organizers. So put me the queries, I'm ready to answer. So I could not find my Q&A. Right. Yeah, I have 7. So sharing the link of the TDL, definitely I'll share all these links. So 2 years ratio analysis, you have to uh, change, you have to change the period and reply, do the same query so that you can get the information. How to learn TDL, maybe the organizers will be helping to you. And Shamir text want to make your own TDL. So learning the TDL, I think you can ask Tally Solutions. And most of the questions were on the links part of it. So I know people were very anxious about this links. So let me go and take all the links right away and post it. So link to download. I'm going to make it here.
So, because most of the questions are repeated, one is, can you explain the SQL query structure in case of amount column?
Right, sure. I'm going to do a bit deep into the query. Before
Okay.
that, people are anxious, so let me just
The link. Okay.
share
Done.
share this. Actually, I'll put it in the chat window, everyone. So I've given you the links to download, so you can chill with that. So given my link to my blog, so that you can take all the data out there. And there is a black box is appearing. Yeah, some people are raising their hands. I don't know how to hide it. I'll see.
Yes, sir. Actually, even I thought you have hidden certain information.
No. There is I changed the resolution, and whenever people are raising me, putting any question, there is a black annoying boxes coming before me.
Okay, I thought it is from your end. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm trying to stop it, but unfortunately I cannot do so. So let me take the further
Queries, yeah.
queries out there in the SQL structure. Amount column I'll explain. Any other columnar data of cost centers. Cost center, you can connect with me offline. I'll help you out. And field names, yes, I will help you out with those queries. So yeah, so most likely it's with the and there are some chat window also, how to take that in Excel. We will be seeing that Excel. You can just stay tuned with us for some time so that you will see how to take uh, this data in Excel. Before that, let me just slightly deep dive into SQL part of it. If you take the Tally Solutions website for SQL help, the syntax is like this. So let me put the syntax in the notepad. Here is the syntax. So this is the field name. I'll change the method to field. from collections. So this is the query. So this is the syntax. The above one is the syntax. Select is written here. Field names in the square bracket, it is being written here. Now there is something called a collection or table name. The table name is ledger. Then you have something called where condition. This place a chartered accountant requirements comes into play. For example, let me just use this where condition. Friends, this is going to be very interesting. You can do a lot of forensics out of it. You can go and figure out a ledger which is created today and an entry is passed backdated, despite the transaction as a edit log. We can able to, with this simple query, you can able to figure out all the transaction which is created after the close of the year, or ledger is created after the close of the year. So now let me introduce this where clause. So the where clause in a regular SQL is a filter. Where you can apply a condition and reduce your results. For example, let me run this query without a condition in the calculator panel. So in this table, you get a detailed trial balance report with name, the group name, opening balance and closing balance, closing balance. Now, if you apply a query on it, let's assume I want only the sundry data. So you can go here, type where and type dollar parent, like double quotes, double percentage, you can say sundry debtors. So friends, that's one query will filter out all the balances of sundry debtors alone. Now we can start playing with this. Now you can see the amount column. The amount column does not show you whether it is a debit or a credit. So we don't know early whether it is a debit or a credit column. So I'm going to slightly modify this. Here, before the closing balance, I'm going to say double dollar is as CRAMT colon, where you get only the debits are marked as negatives and the credits were positive. Now you can very well modify this. I'm going to say, for example, I want to look at the closing balances of sundry debtors, where the balance is a credit one. So I can say and double dollar is dr dollar underscore closing balance. So it will take only the debit balance of sundry debtors. Let's see this. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are debits. Of course, it takes null also. Again, we can write one more condition and filter. Now let's assume I want only the credit balance. This is only debtors. This is debit balance in debtors. Now we will do credit balance in debtors. So I'm going to say again, it is there actually, I'm just going to show you where it is. It says not. So if you put this not before this function, this will give you the credit balance. Yeah, simple. So I got the credit balance of the sundry debtors. So like this, you can go and write conditions, filter data, filter creditors, filter anything based on any conditions, any amount related conditions. So you can see this tally site where the mathematical, arithmetical operators like greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, all these could make a significant help for you in terms of filtering out any transactions from the master data. So I believe that the SQL part of it little bit I have done. Now for further references in my in my uh, blog, in my GitHub, if you come to my profile window, I have five products related to Tally. This is Tally Connector version 1 and version 2. I suggest you to work on with version 2.0. And here you have something called Tally SQL. So as a chartered accountant, I have written various queries here in Tally. So where that you can go and filter out. If you don't know what this will do, you can write this query to the calculator panel, sorry, to the ChatGPT window and ask what this will do. This will certainly helpful for you. So I have some queries to filter. I have some queries doing a wildcard search, some queries to using the inbuilt the plus and minus signs of Tally. There is a forensics query giving me the information on when a ledger is created and alter. Let's check on this. This is going to be very, very interested. Stay tuned. This is a Tally which does not have a username and password. So let me just create a username and password, enable the security control. Generally, a entity Tally will be like this. Right. So a security control has been enabled. Let's assume the year is 2021 and I go to uh, alter a ledger. I'm going to alter a provision A to Z stationery. From sundry debtors, I'll change it to sundry creditors. Maybe change the balance also. Done. I'll create a ledger. I'm going to say test payment sundry creditors. I created a ledger. Now, friends, as a sequence of events, all these, let's assume it is an edit log enabled environment. At the moment, I'm working with the educational version of Tally. Now, all these logs, edits, or the alterations to the master data I've done today. But the data for me relates to 2021. I want to make a track of the changes made after the close of the year. Let's assume with the 2021, we'll assume as financial year 23-24, and we are in August or September, and now there is a change to the ledger master data. We want to have a track of it. Now, you can go copy this forensic query. Here is a query. Let me just show it for you. This query can be written in the calculator panel. You will get to know there is one more order by clause has also been used to sort the data. So this query can be written in calculator panel where you get the edit logs on the events or sequence of event wise or the date of event wise where you will get this data. See, the last edit after this edit log has been introduced, it is on 4th September 1:47 p.m. Test customer made by me, for which I don't have a username because I have not enabled the security control. Now, after this, there is two more edits. I made it where I alter ledger. So it is on the altered by and date and time. And it is another one is on creation and today it is created. Very important, significant item in this forensics query. See the last voucher date. Since this Tally is from financial year 2021 onwards, Tally do not know what has happened in the previous year. So the last voucher date it has made, if there is no voucher, it says the last date available for it as 1st April. This may not have any entry. However, see this case. A to Z stationaries is being, or let me just quickly do a entry. So let me just put a cash payment entry to test payment. This table has been connected to Tally in a real lifetime, and any data can be refreshed at any given time according to the user demand. And also I have one more table, data legacy wizards, Microsoft query. Here I have one more table called ledger as well as stock. So now ledger data, the query we made is also available here. So when you see at the background behind the table under properties, you'll see the same table SQL query mentioned here. So like this, a data which is available as a table, in Tally can be pulled out here, and real time it can be synced. For example, let me change the alpha provisions as a opening balance of say 27,000. Let me go and alter the ledger alpha provisions. So from 27,000, let me make to 15,000. So I can come here, do a refresh, it gets updated. So like this, you have an inbuilt ODBC method which gives you ledger. However, in my case, the transaction also comes here. Now, what we can do with this kind of a transaction in a real life audits. So I can show you one example. So I'll insert a pivot table here. The most toughest part for today's chartered accountant is reporting the information for class 44. I can bet you anyone can able to do this class 44 in a matter of 10 to 15 seconds. But let me take some time in order to teach you to do it a bit slowly. So you need to have the ledger wise information, then group wise information. So I'm taking ledger and groups in the row, and groups I'm going to move it as a slicer. We know class 44 for expenses. So expenses like direct tax, direct expenses, indirect expenses, purchases, and fixed assets. I don't have any fixed assets here. It should be disclosed. Now amount, I will drag it to the values. Now this amount, this transaction debit and credit should be bifurcated into the regular unregistered composition depending upon the nature of the party. So that data I have in GST party type. Let me drag this to column. Yes, my class 44 report is ready in a second. Now let me just do a transaction, see something I can able to influence this out. What is this blank? Whenever you do a direct payment of a transaction, either through bank or cash, so the field called regular or unregistered will not be available. So that is mentioned here as blank. Blank is nothing, but it is only unregistered. So this data will be helpful for all chartered accountants in filling the class 44 report. And again, it has a refresh button. Any change in the transactions here, for example, let me do a cash payment of rent. A refresh of a button. Sorry, there are two rent accounts, I guess. Let me take something else. Here I have to refresh the day book first. Then I refresh here. Yes. So like that, this data is lively connected. All chartered accountants can use this day book or the SQL queries, connect and keep this data refreshed. I can also show you some more file which I've already worked with. I thought of working with you. Now let me open that file for you. Yes. This is the file which I've connected real-time daybook, ledger, and stock. And this is the class 44 data. Now this is a different company. This is an older company. I'll try to refresh here. The data gets refreshed and your if you refresh all the pivots gets refreshed across. So the point, my dear friends, here is you can have this template like I have done class 44 ledger scrutiny. See, you would have seen a ledger scrutiny, a ledger by ledger, but ledger by ledger of sundry debtors where the transaction is bifurcated into credit note, journals, receipts, and payments. Now you can very well research on this data and see what kind of anomalies. See, you have alpha provisions, you have a journal. So like that, you can go and give a bird's eye view of all the general ledger transaction. So with this one view, you can able to do a lot of things because your entire day book is there, all perspective, not no, it is not one perspective or two perspective, multiple perspectives of information is there. I can give you a lot of insights about each and every field and see this is absolutely amazing. Many accountants who do not use the full potential of Tally by configuring HSN wise information reports and single ledger for CGST, single ledger for SGST. Here, using this kind of analysis, despite the despite the Tally flexibility, they configure Tally in a way that is not suitable for reporting. But with this one table, you can list down all the transaction affecting the GST ledgers. It is ledger here or groups. You can map all the CGST in single group and get this transaction listed into a single page. So with this, you can go and do a basic reconciliation. So with that data, I have attached date, party name, GST number, taxable value, and whether it is ITC payment or sales. So with this one array, I can able to do a complete, pull out a complete GST information out of the system and do a powerful quick automated audits. So like this, you can have a multiple pivot tables and or power pivots on your own, and you can do a lot of analysis. Also, I would like to tell you, for example, ledger and this day book is related. Ledger, you have some information like opening balance and closing balance, which is not available in day book. You can very well, do a relationship, build a relationship by going to Power Pivot, add this table in the Power Pivot window, add to model and build a relationship on this by giving master and transaction relationship. Ledger. So now in this relationship, you can say manage the relationship and let me go and create a relationship from ledger. There is a field called ledger master ID. Before that, I should have refreshed the data one time. Give me a moment. I can go to ledger, select the field called master ID, and I can go to daybook, select the field called ledger master ID. Now these two are into one-to-many relationships. So ledger table and the daybook table has been linked in the background in the Microsoft query relationship. Now, by this, you can go to, you can load this data to a power pivot window and try to get the data from both daybook and ledger. Like this, you can create models out of it, well as transaction to master and create a lot of visualization using power pivots and or your regular pivot table. So I will take a small stop here. So I'll try to answer all your questions. So I just want the organizers to put me the question, because if I go back to the questions, again, the screen flickering issue will come back. So over to the organizers to give me some questions so that I can answer.
Yes, sir. So for the brief 5-7 minutes, I had actually paused the recording so that there could be a sting. So could you repeat the steps which you had shown once you had come back?
Oh, you want me to connect this data? All right, I'm ready to
Just the
do.
first part. So this
All right.
one you had showed.
Understood, understood. I could be able to hear to know that it got recorded later. So I need to go to data, get data, legacy wizards, Microsoft query, but some other versions will have in other sources Microsoft query. So if you click on this, if I click on this tally ODBC, I'll get this three tables here. I can just simply click this center button where all the fields will be moved out. It is just a wizard to uh, pull out the fields which I want for reporting, and click a button, it gets loaded. This is one part of the way to pull out the data. There is another method as contemplated in my blog. Also, I'll show it at this time so that people can use it in one shot. There is something called Power Query method. The same query is here. So now I can able to copy this, go to a Power Query Advanced Editor. So I can go to data, get data, other sources, click on blank query. In this blank query, I can go to Advanced Editor, delete everything, paste it, done. Now my data gets loaded to a Power Query window. Here I can say close and load, get onto the Excel. This is one more way. The third way of doing is again a ODBC method or data source method. You can copy this similar method but different credentials. Again, ODBC also I could do. I'll do it blank query now because that's quicker. So paste this. So like this also the data can be pulled out. So three methods I'm getting the data here. Maybe of course I have to do the editing part of it. I have to organize this as text or sorry numbers. Maybe that is the reason I'm not getting the balances here. So there are three methods in doing it. One is this Microsoft query method, and this Power Query. I have two methods to get this data. I hope this is clear. Yes.
So one query is to download the TDS zip file. We have to log in on
Correct.
techca.app
Correct. You
whether
need
it
to
can be
log in.
downloaded.
Yes, you need to log in, or in the Git page. In the Git page, you have it without login. Tally Connector 2.0. Here you have without login. I will do one thing. I will put all these files queries again one more time in my blog so that you can download into one single shot in a zip file. Yes. Over to the questions.
Yeah. What if the parent is the subgroup of sundry debtor? Example, Maharashtra debtors.
Correct. Correct. So let me do it one more time. Data, get data, legacy wizards, Microsoft query. I have something called ledger here. Done. So I'll go to Tally here. I'll create a ledger. I'm going to say Narasimhan. I'm not grouping under sundry creditors. I'll create a subgroup. I'm going to say Bangalore debtors under sundry debtors. So the main group is Narasimhan is grouped under Bangalore debtors. However, Bangalore debtors is ultimately grouped under sundry debtors. I'll just I forgot to put the opening balance. Okay, fine. Let me try a shot here. I'll do refresh. Let me see. Yeah. So the Narasimhan account is grouped under primary group of sundry debtors, subgroup of Bangalore debtors. So this is the difference between a field called primary group and a parent. Parent is the ultimate, the group where it is there. Primary group is, parent is the immediate group where it is being grouped, and primary is the ultimate group where that ledger has been grouped. So I think I've answered this question. Next.
Yeah. So generally, debit balance is positive and credit values are negative. However, it showed opposite in your SQL data. Fine.
No, it's not my SQL data. Tally is, configured like that. And again, to add up to that point, you can write this one. Instead of as CR amount here, this is a function inbuilt in Tally. You can say as a DR amount. Now the debits will be in positives, credit will be in negatives. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Can
Yes,
I get uh, various rate of input tax credit ledgers monthly on column for 12 months?
input tax ledgers, 12 months. You can very well. These are the list of input tax creditors, ledgers. You want the transaction wise, they're asking month wise for, relationship. So you can go and put the date into a timeline. I can say July, sorry. So using this timeline, you can be able to figure out this done. So
Yeah.
month wise, I can able to split. Yes, next question, please.
Yeah. Ram is new ledger. Why is it showing last voucher date? I'm
Ah,
not.
correct. See, Tally believes that last voucher date in the forensic query as the first date of the year. If does not have any transaction, it assumes that there could be any transaction in the previous year. So if for a safer side, it makes the first date of the year as a last date of entry because it does not want to mislead people as last voucher date. Despite the ledger is new, it allots a date by default. I have no hand on it. Maybe you can write one more query to remove it or replace all 1st of April to 0. Yes, next question.
Yeah. Uh, Sir, are you sure? Should we take up next question or should we move along because it's
No,
4:10
no, no.
already?
I'll take some more questions, maybe
Okay,
another two, three more.
understood. Okay, so from the link shared, how to download the TDL as the clicked zip file, but it is not happening.
Okay, maybe you need to log in and download. Yes.
Okay, what if we have two tally companies? How to download the data in that case?
Hey, this gets downloaded from one company. If you have a say you have a group company where you have more companies are loaded in the same group, and you want to get all the daybooks of all the companies in a single table with distinct identification for each company, then connect me in offline. I can figure and help for you. Figure out
Okay.
a workaround on this.
Yeah.
Yes, next.
Facing an issue in TallyPrime where tax analysis is not enabling in purchases and sales voucher.
Okay, no, I'm not. This is only audit automation session. I'm not going
Yeah,
deep
by
into this. Yeah.
okay. Can we get multiple grouping info other than immediate parent and primary group?
No, I'm focusing only on the primary group and the immediate group. The intermediary groups, you can have 4, 5 subgroups. I'm not focusing on that part of it in my analytics. I don't find it adds any sense to the current audit analysis.
Okay.
Next.
Without the TDL add-on, will the transaction SQL query work in Tally?
Not at all possible because that data source is by default not available in Tally. Me as a chartered accountant who worked on with it to bring the data.
Okay. The daybook table is not showing in my ODBC in Excel.
Correct. Unless the TDL is attached, it will not get shown.
Okay. Can you once more show exporting data from Tally
I
to
think
Excel?
after
Please.
that, I've done three,
We'll
four
do that
times,
later.
and I'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
sharing this file as well. No
Yes, and
problem.
the recording will definitely be available.
Of course, it will be helpful. Shall I move on to the next part of it?
Okay, yes, sir,
All
please.
right. All right. So the next one, I'm going to work with Power BI. So I had a Excel macro also approach. I will later add the file. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to currently show this how this tally data can be connected to a Power BI. So Power BI, most of you know that it is a important visualization tool in the Microsoft family. It can work along with Power Query. The DAX can be written here. Data cleansing can happen in Power Query or something like that to some extent here in Power BI as well. And the DAX functions can be written, measures can be created, and a lot of visualizations can be done. So Tally is the most popular tool for accounting on small and medium enterprises. So this Power BI will be very much helpful in creating. So I have imported the data and have created a small visual for sales metrics to work. I will be sharing this file as well to everyone with along with this Venkateshwara traders given by Tally. But in this data connection part, I'm going to do one more time for you on how connecting this data and show this method on creating the DAX, and then I'm going to stop on this to move to Python quickly. So go to get data, click on blank query, simple, and go to advanced editor. Then I'm going to my blog. In this blog, I'm going to copy this query method, copy the query, paste it, done. Data gets loaded. So this is how the data gets loaded here. Close and apply. Yes, it is applying as a query to, it will come. So from here, whoever knows how to work on with Power Query, work on with Power BI, they can configure. And one more thing I want to show, I have all these data, but if you take the amount column, very, very important. The amount column will give you a total of 0. Because for each and every debit, there is a corresponding credit, plus and minus, it tallies, the amount column is 0. So for which I need to take a sales total. So I have written a DAX function here. So with this DAX, which can filter out only the credit type of the transaction, voucher type name as sales, and the final filter as ledger group is sales accounts. So this 3 filter applies in this measure or a additional formula to create me a measure of sales total for reporting. Like this, additional measures can be taken out on this data. Of course, you can move your ledger table also here, build your relationship, and create visualizations as in how it looks like. Also, you can create a visualization to look in your desktop layout, mobile layout, and do multiple things. So I want to see the sales export month on month, or the East zone sales, or only the March sales. This is a simple visualization. I made it for sales. Like this, you can go and give solutions for your client as well as for your own analysis. And very important, this visualization can connect with multiple companies just by a refresh, or whatever company has been loaded, whatever period it has been loaded here, you change the period, give a refresh, so it gets loaded to the next period. So this is how data can be moved from Tally to Power BI, and visualizations can be made upon. Now, before taking any questions, I quickly move on to the last part of the discussion today. After Power BI, Excel modeling, I want to show you how this data can get into this Python libraries. So Python, there is a library called PyODBC, and people who are working in Python will definitely know what is pandas. So I'm going to do this Python Tally integration where the script is available in my GitHub. So I know some of you would be only using it. I'm not going to spend more time on this, but it will be very much useful for your analysis. So there is something called Tally Python integration. There is something called connection script here. I'm going to copy the script. So I'm going to go to a new folder, Python 2. So in this folder, I'll put a text file and a text file named code.py and paste the script. So this is a script. You need not have much interaction about Python, because ChatGPT today writes all Python script very easily. This is a place you should know where to write the query. Now let me write a query from my blog to getting all the daybook. So this is the query. I'll paste it here, save it. Done. File name, I'm going to say as paybook. I have written my script. So let me tell you one more time. I copied the script. I pasted it in a notepad file, text file, change the extension as .py and open with notepad. You'll see the file. Now I need to execute this file through Python. Python already installed. My requirements are already done. So I'll go to a PowerShell or a command prompt window, do a change directory, and I'm going to say Python code.py. So friends, here I'm going to press this enter now, and it asks whether it is running in ODBC 9000. It is by default 9000. Done. I got the daybook as in a CSV file. So this query has taken the data from Tally, posted as a CSV file. So people who know Python, they can consume this file. They can use a lot of analysis, give a disclosure or a visualization to the clients. Again, I just want to quickly tell you there is something called bat file. I'll paste it here, which also I'll be sending. I will edit it. So this bat file, I need to put two things. The path of the Python in my system, I've made the path of this file, code.py. I have made it. I made it and closed it. It is also a text file. Extension is .bat. So now I'm not running any Python query here. See here, the Python query is connected to this bat. I'll open it on one more time for you. It says C users Python exe. The path of Python file. This is the path to the path to the Python exe. Then this is a path to the small file code.py, which we have taken from my GitHub under the connection script, Python integration. So now if I double click on this process.bat, the data comes here. So friends, like this, you can do automate any given process. At the moment, I've given a simple process of extraction of the files here. So with this, you can go and do multiple things. You can do multiple things here and automate almost whatever process you want. So now I'm ready to take the final questions. Over to the organizers.
Yes, so the common question one that how to connect with you other than this. So if you can share your details.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I will very well share my details.
Yeah.
So this is my contact. You can, and the links to the page. You can take a screenshot of this very well, so that you can do. But I want to show one more automation real time, which how I work in my office. Post this.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, and I think people can know. I'll also make this available at the last of the slide. So this is my automation, my TDL, where I've set this here by default to 2324 whenever my tally gets loaded using TDL. But of course, I don't have a data here. So let me override and change it to 2024. And I have a single click export button where I click this button, this whole data gets loaded to uh, Python automatically. So I have written a 13 table one, including this daybook. Daybooks here, I guess, table number 3, and ledger data, stock, HSN, e-way bill, e-invoice, whatever data you name, cost center. This one has taken all these data from this 14 tables from Tally in a span of 3.166 seconds. So if I give yes, the file gets loaded for me. So ledger forensics, ledger master, daybook, bill wise opening balances, bill-wise closing pending balances, bill-wise transaction, the master key for building relationships, GST data for building relationships, the stock master, the stock movement or the transaction, which will be helpful, the e-way bill data, HSN wise summary, cost center data. With this, I'll tell you 95% of the data is available as a flat table around the 13, 14 tables. So this is how, and it has been automatically saved in a place, to generate. So with this, all my audit gets automated, a single click button. So my point to all of the fellow accountants here, so all these quick processing of data in a short span of second works with Python. Instead of writing one table here, I've written multiple tables, rendered this data into a Excel format. So this is what I do in real time. So today audit is a vacation for me. So I only spend 10 to 20% of my time in audits. Balance all the time I'm working on myself towards automation. So let me take the final set of questions. Over to the organizers.
Yes, sir. So continuing from where I think, please explain the last part, connecting two sheets with some common ID.
Yeah, that is very, very simple. You need to add these tables to a uh, to a Power Pivot data model, add data to model. Like this, you can go to two tables and add it and get into this sorry, I'm very sorry about this. Yeah, I need to add one more thing. And there is something in the design, there is something called create relationships. So you can build relationships. It is part of your Power Query or your DAX functions. So you can create relationships amongst various tables. Based on the relationship from one table, you can take the information, pull out the information from the other table based on the database relationship. Yes, next question.
Yeah. How ODBC data are pulled out from the legacy wizard?
Come again.
How is the ODBC data pulled out from the legacy wizard?
Yeah, legacy wizard. See, I am using a Office 365 version. The ODBC was in other sources, but it has been moved to legacy wizard.
The
How to enable that?
similar
Yeah,
query one
yeah.
is
How to
this.
enable it? You need to go to account, sorry, file options. In a data, you have something called legacy import wizards. People who are using latest Office 365 and Office 2021 get this. Tick this Microsoft query. That's all. You'll get it in get data, legacy wizards and Microsoft query.
So on
So,
similar line, ODBC query can be done on Excel 2013 or 2007, or
correct.
only Office 365 is needed.
Yes, yes. See, wherever you have Power Query, you can use this option. But I don't think so. In 2007 Excel, you will have, unless you have Microsoft Query, you need to do it. Latest version, people should go into this tab and enable this Microsoft Query option.
Yeah. Is it necessary to install TDL before connecting using
Yes.
the PQ code on your website?
Correct. Necessary to download, not install. You know, TDL is a small text file. You need download and attach. This my Git, it has given you step-by-step information on how to attach this, download this file, and how to attach the TDL has been explained here step by step with screenshot. You can complete this and do. Yeah, next.
Again, it's on the link. Please, both side link.
Yeah. I
Can
think
we
I've
export?
already shared that someone can reshare,
Yes.
because if I go into the window, the screen
Yeah,
gets,
that's what. Let's not go. Towards the end, we'll send it in the chat. Yeah.
and very important, I want to acknowledge the idea given by Mr. Narsim and Ilangovan on this. Otherwise, it will not be, this session will not be smooth. Thank you so
It
much,
wouldn't be that
Narsim.
smooth.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we export multiple ledgers in columnar format in one shot using ODBC?
Of course, I have taken multiple ledgers only. It is not single ledger I have taken. You can very well go.
That's what we're saying. But he's saying in one shot using ODBC.
Yes, in one okay. Yeah. At the moment, you can go table by table. You need to do daybook one time. You need to go and do ledger one time. Maybe in Python, if you know, you can able to configure, do it in single shot. For example, see my Python, I click this button, single click export. Next, done. It is taking 13 tables in single shot. Now it is taking 2.86 seconds. So if you know Python, you can write a loop like this, pull out all this data.
Can we fetch any ready-made report in Tally? How? Like cash book?
See, I have not worked on that part of it because I have worked on with the basic data from the data sources. This reporting part of the report which is already existence like daybook, sorry, the balance sheet or the cash flow. I have not looked on it honestly.
Okay. Yeah. So, sir, the Excel template which you are showing, can you
Yes,
share
yes.
that as well?
The templates and all these working files, including this Python code, I will shortly add, including this Power BI working, including my presentation. I will shortly zip this file, put it both under my Git page as well as in my blog.
Okay, perfect.
Shortly,
So, yeah.
shortly.
And the Git page link you have already given in the chat.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Right now also it is on the screen. People can take a screenshot of
yeah.
it as well as the stick CA. People can follow, and I wish to tell you that a lot more things are there on integrating Python or your SQL queries. There is something called natural language processing, where through which Tally has asked me to being an hackathon winner. I worked on with this TDL, and also moving to this blog, you have a lot of analytics, automation, Tally automation, your Python 2A files, the multiple resources in this blog. I would wish to people to log in into it, and there are multiple people contributing to this, so you can very well check out this data out there. Yes, next.
Definitely, sir. Yeah. So just one more thing. So before I forget, I've put the link in the chat also. We have our new upcoming release 5.0, which is ready to be launched. Please do register from the link given in the chat box. It is for the launch event. Please do register so that you get a reminder. It's on 12th of September, 11 a.m. Thank you. So, sir, moving on, how to get all the voucher modification details in Tally edit log? Sir, not related
Yes,
currently.
yes.
Yeah.
So this modification and things like that, I've done. I think I've done with the ledger part of it. Now let me do the daybook part of it. So let me quickly go and pass some entries. A voucher, cash, some entry. I made it today. Made it 1/4/2020. So I passed the entry 1/4/20 today. Let me go and refresh. I don't know what is happening, right? But alter ID is very important. Let me sort this alter ID to largest to smallest. Sorry. Now see this payment entry. Date of the transaction is 1/4/2020. Drawings to cash. Ram has created this event on 4/9/2024 at 4:32:08 seconds. So with this table, you can go pull out all the information. Like I told you in forensics query for ledger master data, like this in this updated date and updated time is the last date of modification or passing that entry, based on which you can track and what was the event also. In this case, Tally has rewritten the data, so I got some alter voucher event. Otherwise, I'll get the proper one if I have maintained the same version of Tally. So this alter ID is very important. It is based on the sequence of the event. Yes, next.
Yeah. Will cost center also be available in this report?
No, call center, it is not available. You can connect with me offline. I can help you out.
Yeah. Can we get the expense ledger name against the expenses along with other details like GST and supplier name,
Of course,
etc.?
yes. Okay, I'll just do. Let me take the group called expenses ledger, direct expenses, indirect expenses. Okay, amount is here. And what you want? The the GST wise, you have there are only few transactions. It is a sample given by Tally. So whatever, you can just go and apply a virtual filter in this table and do it.
Okay.
Next.
Option to connect in Excel is not showing in Office 365. Which version of MS Office is being used?
Any version you can use, but the latest version, people need to go to File, Option, Data, enable this Microsoft Query Legacy. If you don't have anything, try Power Query. Yes, next question.
I think you've answered this. The daybook table is not showing in the ODBC. Do I have to first
Correct.
install the TDF?
Already answered.
Yeah.
Already answered.
How to get invoice and bill reference details in receipt as columnar report?
Come again, please. Sorry.
How to get invoice and bill reference details in receipt as a columnar report?
No, one more time. I could not follow this.
So the
How to
bill
get?
reference detail, how to get the invoice and the bill reference details in
No,
receipt?
bill reference detail is not made by me. You can connect offline. I can help you out.
Okay. Does cost center comes in this query?
No, already
No.
answered.
Yeah.
Connect with me offline. I'll help you out.
Yeah. Sir, kindly share the link to download the data. Answered.
No,
Sir,
I will definitely in my Git by tonight will get updated. You can
Yeah.
stay.
How to get report for MSME report under section 43B?
MSME at the moment I've not worked
Yeah.
on. Sorry. Next.
Okay. How do we select the date filter while importing data to
Yes, good
query or
question. Very good
BI?
question. Whatever date is given here, it is automatically imported. You can go to the last column. What is from date and to date? Now you can change this date in the tally, refresh it. For example, let me go Alt F2 1/10/2020. I change it for 6 months. I right click and refresh. See, only 300 lines of data has been put in. So any
Date
change in
filter,
period I
right?
made it in tally will come automatically.
Okay. How to 1 second. Okay, recording, yes, we will upload. Like all the CA Connect sessions, we'll be uploading under the series of Tally CA Connect in our YouTube. If you are associated with our through WhatsApp community of CAs, if not, please do join, and we'll be sharing the link over there as well. And the third you can see is in our community portal, that is CA Community by Tally under webinars. How Power Pivot can be enabled?
Power Pivot, I think from 2016 onwards, it is already there. Before 2016, from 2011 onwards, you can download, add in and enable Power Pivots. And post 2016, every version of Excel has Power Pivots, Power Queries by default. Next.
For Python, we need the specific port. If open more than one in Tally, how will it work on button click?
Correct. Very important question. You recall I was working on I clicked the Tally multiple times. 2-3 instances of Tally might been working. I closed it. When you configure a Tally with a specific port called 9000, you open one more instance of Tally, load another company. The same application cannot speak with single port, or 2 instances of Tally cannot speak with single port. The first instance of Tally will work in port 9000. The second instance of Tally will open work, will not report anything in port 9000. In that case, you want to have multiple ports. You can have multiple instances of Tally. Each instances can run in different ports. Accordingly, you can configure.
Can we fetch data for 2 years by year-wise bifurcation?
No. See, you have to enable both these years in the Tally, download all the data and filter it here.
Okay. How to reconcile the ITC between 2 and 3B in Tally? We'll do that later
Yeah,
on.
it is
How
there.
ODBC? Yeah.
Again?
I'm sorry. No, sir. It was about the reconciliation
No,
of the
reconciliation, I've given a small sample. How can pull out all the transaction data, GST in a single shot. Yes.
Okay, perfect. How ODBC can be used to get audit trail data of change voucher deleted? I think you just
Right,
showed
I
us.
just shown it.
Yeah. Please explain the meaning of key as journal and
Correct.
arrow
Good
2
question.
and 2 arrow.
Thank you so much. Because good question. There is something called master ID in Tally. The master ID both for masters as well as for transaction. This master ID is a very unique identity. When a transaction is created, a master ID attaches to Tally. It is not generally available in any report. For example, you make a payment entry, a master ID is attached. Then later the payment has been changed to receipt. It maintains the same master ID. Later the voucher is cancelled, it maintains the same master ID. The cancelled voucher later got re-enabled, it maintains the same master ID. Finally, it has been posted as sales, it will maintain the same master ID. So that is a lack of doubt that my entry being posted missed. It was there in the report. Now it is not there. To avoid that confusion, I have pulled out the master ID and reported here. So again, this voucher number 45 will be available in payment, will be available in receipt. So in order to avoid the confusion, I have taken concatenated the field called voucher name and the master ID and the voucher number to form a unique set for reporting. That's all. This is only a concatenated key, will be very much useful for reporting. Yes, next question.
No. Legacy query wizard not showing Tally ODBC.
Correct. Correct. See, legacy query wizard, you need to go and enable. If you are already there, if you're using the any medium versions, recent versions, it will be available in other sources, Microsoft Query. Since I'm using latest version, I'm going to legacy wizards. Here you will have Microsoft Query. If not, you blank query and you complete it. Next.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a compliment for you. CA Vanna Dodia says it was very informative and useful session in the audit season.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
My pleasure. Yeah.
What is the maximum line that is possible to be exported using ODBC? Is there any limit?
Yeah. So Tally can work with multiple data depending upon your system speed. It can pull out 10 lakh 48,000 records as much as you have in Excel. If you want to work with more, you can move to Python Pandas data frame. You don't have any limit for the data.
Okay. Cost of TDL, I think
It is
please
free.
refer to your Tally partners.
No. The cost of the studio is free.
Oh, this one? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It is absolutely free and it has been written by me for the benefit of the new advanced ITT people and the benefit of the chartered accountants. The original version was given as last year, this connector version 1, and this connector version 2 is given this year. It has a validity until May of 2025. Post that also one more version will be released. There will be always a community version. The TDL need not to be purchased at all.
Okay. Columnar format of multiple ledger. I think we have seen that. How to get this Python query?
Yeah, Python is there. Python integration, Tally Python integration there in my Git. Anyone can go and copy the connection script. People who works with Python.
Okay.
That is
Can a
recommended.
I think this is a very important question, at least for
Ah,
people like me. Can a layman with no understanding of Python or any coding language work using this?
yes, very well. I can show a demo here. I can go to ChatGPT. Maybe my friend Narsiman has shown me. I'm not done anything login. So I can go to the connection script here. I copy this. I paste it here. This is my Python code to get the data from Tally. Can you change the data source? I'll write another data source. This is a very important question. So I'll take, this time I want the stock data to, so know what Python does? Takes this input, it creates me, of course, it changes the query part. You all know what is a query by attending the session. It understands the session already and gives me a new piece of code. Copy this, paste it in your Python window, run it. Or if you forgot it, so tell me, guide me how to run this code. So now tell me, should you should you require to know about Python? So any person could be able to easily work on this. Yes, next question.
Yeah. Can you share link for Tally Solution SQL? So was it the same link which you had shared in
Yeah,
the
it
first
is
one?
it's a blog, I have a lot of it is a blog. Here it is Tally SQL, Tally connector, Tally Python integration, everything is here. You can just take out the space. It is there on the screen as well.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, I think I'm just scrolling through so that we do not take up the same questions because we have crossed
Fine.
the thing.
Mhm.
Can we generate the depreciation chart?
Depreciation chart, of course, yes, depreciation workings can be done using filters.
Okay. If you have multiple buttons on your tally, how can we get it according to our choice?
Come again.
You have multiple buttons on your tally. How
Uh,
can we get it according to our choice?
See, the data is here. I just made it for my purpose of my professional audits. But this is a person who knows TDLs can write it, but ChatGPT will write it sooner. I would suggest you work on with this data, create multiple templates as possible, refresh and use it. And then for the time being, we are not as you have not mastered out of how to write TDLs. But I have written one table. Any data or any report which is there in this country or in this framework can be generated, which can be or any new report is invented in this planet also. This one table can report all that information. I'm very sure.
Yeah. So, more compliments for you, sir. Devarshi Bhuvalka, I think they know you. Thank you, Rama sir, for this wonderful session.
My pleasure.
Monica Chalani ma'am says, highly
Oh,
insightful session.
huh.
And
That's good.
Bhavika Gandhi says, thank you, sir, for the insightful webinar and learnings.
Yes, I also want to express my gratitude to Mr. Vinod Kothari, who did the session 1 year back using some inputs from me, and it was a great thought-provoking session. And also, the current AI committee of ICI, the leadership has given me this opportunity to get participated in the hackathon final, where Tally was also present there, and where this natural language capability, NLP of Tally, which I possess before this 2,500 plus audience, which made me to take this session. I'm grateful a product like Tally can, in this AI or in this automated world, can provide a lot of insightful information and a powerful tool to work on with audits for us. So over to the organizers.
Yeah, and that's great. So I think we can conclude just three questions I'll take up, which I
Yeah, yeah.
think
No,
can
I'm
be
ready. I'm
answered
ready.
quickly.
I'm ready even for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, because we missed the 15 minutes, so which is so as for
Absolutely.
you, which is better, ODBC or XML request?
See, XML request takes a lot of time for Tally to respond for the data because for every header of information, it responds with a XML text. I know a lot of audit automation applications works through that way. However, here there is no heavy load of data is being transmitted. So I think ODBC will be quicker, and you can also believe. Just think about you importing a 900 lines of data with 40 columns or 30 columns in Tally in a fraction of less than 3 seconds. Do you think anywhere, any application, ma'am, any application, any ERP which pulls
No,
out 1,000 lines of data, displays to you in a table in less than 3 seconds?
not
Not at
easy.
all. Not at all. So XML method is all old method. Of course, the Tally gives for the legacy applications and the partners to work on with. I believe ODBC for it will be helpful in a real time insightful syncing of
Is there
data
any
regularly.
automation tool for bank reconciliation between passbook and books?
I think Tally Solutions has a lot of information. Maybe you as a partner, or you can ask people. There are a lot of partnership with banks like ICICI and many more, much more, 23 banks in the e-banking. You can enable this auto reconciliation feature.
Yeah. How to pull stock data in Excel using
Yes, there is a third
ODBC?
table. I think I just missed it, but let me just go and show you one more time. I might Tally open. Yeah, data, get data.
In terms in align with this question only, please share how to extract invoice-wise, stock-wise sales register.
No, at the moment, I'm in invoice wise, I've made the stock wise, all these data is not enabled. You can connect with me offline, I can help you out. So,
Okay.
like this table, you have daybook, ledger, and stock. A stock master can be taken. The M stands for master. So, this master of stock can also be taken using this. Next.
Yeah. Again, more compliments pouring in. Mr. Bala Gangadharan is saying, thank you for the wonderful session. We have to practice to remember all.
But it's
Mr.
all documented in my forum as well as in Git. Always
Yeah.
at any time you can log in and you can see. And sometimes I go into my forum at midnight 2 o'clock and I see here in my page. See, now also you have 15 users online. So
I'm
many
sure
people.
these users can be the ones from the CA Connect. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I
The
believe a lot of people are working day and night, and this blog will be all the time active for you to refer and do on this.
that this will prove to be a very valuable resource. Thank you.
Yes.
Again, superb session, very informative. Looking forward to use all the tools by Vivek Jains. And sir, on the content, the XML which you just mentioned, but using XML request, we get power to choose the database and from which period, which is not available in
Correct,
ODBC.
correct, correct. XML, we can choose based on the request, you can choose the period of the data. However, here the tally F2 controls here the F2 window of the tally change period controls what data to be transmitted here. Whatever data is period is open, that data will be automatically transmitted in this method.
Yeah. Using sales pivot, we can get invoice wise item detail.
Yes, yes, yes. Invoice wise you can get using pivot tables.
Okay. So if data for 3 years has been selected on Tally, can a trade payable aging schedule as per Schedule 3 be
Yeah,
generated?
very well, very well, very well. You're there, right? Can be imported. Or
Yes.
multiple years can be imported in one single shot. Made it to a single pivot table. It can be done.
So, sir, more or less, we have answered all the queries. Shows open, but these are the repetitive questions or the
Yeah.
compliments. And for the recording, one more time, please do join our CA community on WhatsApp or in
Fine.
the community portal. You can also go because these are very easy to find the YouTube recordings. If you prefer YouTube, you can go to our YouTube under Tally CA Connect, you will find. So this recording will need some editing. So please bear with us. Maybe in a day or two, we will definitely upload the session. Join our WhatsApp community. You will find all details, any queries. Ram sir is also part of our community. So you can put in the query there as well. So that will compel him to engage at our portal. Jokes aside, it is very heartening to see more than 160 people are still here, way past our CA Connect time, all because of you, sir, because of such useful session and such valuable resources. Please take a screenshot of sir's details. Sir, again, the black screen is coming. Yeah.
No, no, no.
And definitely the GitHub links and the tech CA for every link. And this is better than writing to us separately because here you will find all the details at one go. So I would really request you all that please take the reference of this both the links so that it will be easier for your future reference while you view the recording. So once again, sir, thank you so much. The lovely compliments and so many reactions are, saying it all that it's a very useful session and
Indeed,
much needed at our forum. We will definitely be disturbing you now that you have given us
yes.
that how useful this can be.
Indeed, indeed, pleasure is mine. I'm also delighted to, work with Tally Solutions on upskilling the child accountants on this automation area. Thank you so much.
Definitely.